Yo, what's going on, guys? This is Houston Sports Talk back into the video day. And today we're going to be previewing the Cincinnati Bengals Philadelphia Eagles preseason game, as these two teams will suit up tonight and play each other for preseason game number one. Both these teams, the Eagles and the Bengals, playing preseason game number one. I think this is the most interesting game of the preseason slate for tonight's three games because, obviously this is going to be the best quarterback that's out there tonight. I mean, Geno Smith will be suiting up for the Raiders tonight, playing a couple series, and you're gonna see Daniel Jones and Anthony Richardson suit up a little bit for the Colts tonight. That will be interesting. But Joe Burrow is going to be out there. So with next to him is Jamar Chase and T Higgins. So we'll see those guys. And Zach Taylor says for a couple series, that could be 2 to 3 series, we see those guys out there. They're going out there and playing a lot early, which is usually later in the preseason. You see the starters get a lot of action in, but I don't blame the Bengals for wanting to get, some work in early after what happened last season. They want to get wins on the board, and they want to be ready for week one. Honestly, I like this for the Cincinnati Bengals. I feel like one of the reasons why they're doing this is because the slow starts they always get to, and we see them figure it out late in the season. Like last year, they start off what it was 0-3, if I'm correct. No, I'm wrong. It was 0-4. They start off 0-4. Or maybe I was right originally saying 0-3. It was 0-3. Start off 0-3. How many times did they start off 0-3? But they always bounce back. Like, they're rusty to start off the season. Joe Burrow, yes, I think you can say was rusty coming back from his injury in the first game of the season last year. They didn't have T. Higgins in that first game. But there's been other seasons when Joe Burrow is healthy, and this team still struggles to start off the season. So I think them getting work in early definitely prepares them for getting off to a better start in the regular season. I think the ultimate goal for the ultimate goal for the Cincinnati Bengals to start the regular season, is get a win on week one. I think that should be fairly easy playing the Cleveland Browns. But look, I think a lot of people said that last year when the Cincinnati Bengals played the New England Patriots and Jacoby Brissett in week one. So I think if you're the Cincinnati Bengals week one playing the Cleveland Browns, Joe Flacco is probably a starter. You don't take anybody for granted. So that is the one thing I look at, and they need to get going. And I like this, playing their starters early, and maybe not just like some teams, they play their main players a good amount, only one game of the preseason. Maybe the Bengals do that 2 times because you want to get these guys going. You want to get these guys feeling good and ready for week one, because the Bengals cannot afford another slow start. If the Cincinnati Bengals can get off to a hot start to begin the season, that is their way of getting into the playoffs. And I think good thing for them is they've got an easier start to the season this year playing the Cleveland Browns, but and then they've got the Jacksonville Jaguars at home, and then they've got the Minnesota Vikings. And I know that some of those teams are really solid, but it's better than what they started off last year. Last year they played a New England Patriots team with Joe Burrow coming back from the injury, no T. Higgins. Then they played the Chiefs. Then they played the Commanders and Jay and Daniels, who was red hot. So I think this year's three games, the first 3 games of their schedule this year, is a lot easier and more calming than they had last year. And I think if you can get off to a hot start, we know this team is good down the stretch. They are just not good at starting off the season. And I think playing their starters a good amount tonight can definitely help them get ready for week one in the first 3 weeks of the season, which has been a problem for this team in the past. But you will see all those guys tonight. I'm excited to see them. I'm also excited to see, Jake Browning. I actually really liked Jake Browning when he replaced Joe Burrow a couple of years ago when he got hurt. I'm excited to see what he can do tonight. And then I look at the other side with the Eagles. They've got a major backup quarterback position up for grabs. They just trade away Kenny Pickett, and Tanner McKee is a guy who looked well at the end of the season when Jalen Hurts was dealing with his concussion. I think he's the favorite for that spot, but they've also got Dorian Thompson-Robinson, who honestly, if you ask me, looked horrendous last year with the Cleveland Browns, especially facing this Cincinnati Bengals team. But I think he definitely has a shot. I think he fits well with the Eagles offense, I would say, though, with him being a quarterback who likes to run the football. I think he fits well as the backup quarterback, and I wouldn't put the national championship winning guy, I wouldn't, or no, sorry, not national championship winning. I was thinking about, the quarterback from Ohio State last year. Kyle McCord was the Ohio State quarterback that did not win the national championship, but that is my bad. Not a national championship winning quarterback, but Ohio State quarterback. I mean, it should be interesting for Kyle McCord was the quarterback for a season for Ohio State. Now he's going to be playing the Ohio team. This game is in Philadelphia though. Kyle McCord had a great year at Syracuse. I was thinking about Will. I can't think about his last name. But wrong quarterback. I apologize. Who I'm thinking about with the Steelers. But Kyle McCord had a great season at Syracuse. You've got Dorian Thompson-Robinson. You've got Tanner McKee. They've got a backup quarterback spot that is open with trading Kenny Pickett to the Cleveland Browns, and got Dorian Thompson-Robinson for Kenny Pickett. And I feel like either three of those quarterbacks can definitely take that backup job, backing up Jalen Hurts. And we'll see how those three quarterbacks do tonight with no Jalen Hurts and no Eagles starters. So this should be an interesting game. This game is not available on NFL Network like the Colts-Ravens game and then the Raiders-Seahawks doubleheader, but you can watch this game on NFL Plus tonight. Let me know your thoughts on the game in the comment section. I'm going to go with the Cincinnati Bengals as a winner tonight just because we know their stars are playing at least a couple series, so I'm going to go with the Bengals winning this game. Let me know your thoughts on the game in the comment section, and peace out.